Hello everyone and welcome to another weekly journal with me. I'm Catalina and I'm the person behind By Catalina Designs, and I'm coming here every week to share with you what I was working on, to ask your question, maybe to make something that you requested for. So yeah, it's a lot about crochet, knitting and all that stuff. So let's just get started. Okay, so first I have um, some questions, well, a couple of questions, not that much. So first is Marin Sophine. Hello beautiful, thank you for your brilliant ads to the world. I love each and every one of your designs. Can you please tell a bit about yourself, where you come from and about who you are and how you became so good at what you do? Besides talent, of course. I think I talked about a bit about myself when starting these weekly journals, but I don't mind doing it again. But I will try to be as short as possible, but trying to say everything. I don't know, that's important. So, first of all, I am Romanian, but I'm living in Netherlands. Is my daughter born? Actually, my first was my husband who was moving here with his job, and then when my daughter had like 6 months old or something, we moved all together. And yeah, back in Romania, and I had a regular job in insurance. I'm an economist, and then yeah, everything changed when we came here. So the first thing, because I was staying at home with the baby, I needed something to do with my hands, with my time, with my mind. And I think I always was into crafting, even if it's with designing clothes. I don't think that this is just happening to love making clothes, because while I was in high school I was taking my mom's clothes, the old ones, and cutting them and trying to make something for myself. I never had a sewing machine, so always everything I was stitching by hand, and even now I don't know how to sew, but maybe I will have to learn that because I would love to. And when I came here, I just started to find things to do. It was really scary to let my daughter in kindergarten, being only a baby. It was really scary to at the beginning to have a job where I didn't know the language, and everything. Netherlands, it's pretty, you can find a lot of multinational jobs in English, but it was really scary. I wasn't even confident on myself with my skills of being able to work and talk in a different language than Romanian. So yeah, so I started to just look over the internet to try to make something, crafting, and trying to keep my mind busy, even around the house, a lot of DIYs and everything. And at some point I got to the making rugs with, I don't know if it's called loom thing, and I just ordered yarn on the Amazon because I didn't had any idea about yarn shops, about types of yarn, about fibers, about anything. And I made a rug, and I still have it here because of course I will never throw it away. Even my daughter is not wearing it in her room anymore, but I want to show it to you. So this is the rug that so it has, I hope it's not really dirty because it's in my daughter's playing space. So this is the mesh, and basically you are making some knots with small strands of yarn like this. Now I saw that I think also We Are Knitters or other brands are selling this type of kit, and you also already have those strands of yarn cutted, and you just need, well, I was doing it by myself from a regular scale, trying to cut the pieces and using a cardboard and so on. It took me like 5 to 6 months to finish it. Well, I was with a baby and it was pretty big. I had no idea about the charts, about the things where you can go and do or find charts. So I was using a photo, like an animation photo, and then in Paint somehow I managed to get that pixel effect and to know how many stitches to go with what color. So yeah, this is how I ended up with a lot of yarn, because of course that I left over, because of course I didn't know how much yarn to order and so on. And then I said, okay, what should I do with this yarn? Maybe to start a knitting and crocheting. I know to knit and crochet since I was a kid, but I never did it as a, I don't know, regular basis or even daily. I don't even know if I finish a project or something. But I said, what should I do? And then I started to watch a tutorial, did some cardigans for my daughter, and somehow the virus came into my head, and I wanted to make more and more and more somehow. And I think that is why the designing hunger, because I wasn't able to read the pattern ever, so I was getting lost into the abbreviation, into everything. I didn't know how pattern it sounds, so I wasn't patient enough to just dig in and trying to learn more about the abbreviation, what is SC meaning. So I just started to improvise, only seeing a photo and trying to get there. I first tried with one of my daughter's cardigan. It was getting small, the one that she had from the store, and I just cut all the seaming and have all the piece entirely to see the shaping and everything. So kind of trying to improvise, and kind of this is how I started to make clothes, because this is what I wanted to do. I tried to follow the clothes that I had in my closet or in my daughter's closet, and then to try to follow the shapes with increasing, decreasing, and so on. And somehow I needed those things that I was making. I needed to to have that appreciation. And apparently, friends, what I have here, my husband, wasn't enough with, oh, look what I did, we'd like to do, look, the baby is so cute in it, and so on. But somehow I didn't get the feedback that I wanted, or I was eager to people to say, oh my god, this is so beautiful. So I found some Facebook groups, and then I ended up posting there the photos with what I was doing. And then everything started, the research started in my head, because people were starting to ask for pattern. Do you have a pattern? Do you have a pattern? Do you have a pattern? I didn't know about it, so I started to just make my research, see what a pattern is, where the name itself, it's kind of telling me what it's all about. But yeah, and then everything started searching for patterns and everything. I realized that there are websites where people are sharing how they are doing stuff, or crocheting or knitting or something. And one day I told to my husband, I think this is it. I think I want to do that, to build a website, a YouTube channel, to do that and that and that. But from there is just a long journey. This was back in 2017, 2016, 2017. Well, when this everything happened, and then basically in 2018 I started to design and write patterns. But of course at first they weren't that good. I still had so many things that I didn't know about writing patterns, about things, but I was sharing with Joy what I'm doing, and basically I was explaining uh, how so even if they weren't with stitch count and everything, I was explaining how I made that thing. And and somehow I can see that nowadays, because it was an entire movement in writing the patterns as well, so nowadays I see that the custom patterns or custom size, where people are telling you how to build the project or the item on your own size, how to measure, what to measure, how to calculate everything. And I think it's a thing right now, but back then I think it was only because I didn't know how to do it otherwise. And after that, to be what I am right now, I was happy enough at first to start working with Hobby. I was buying yarn from Hobby because I was thinking that it's more affordable at that time. And then of course that I learned that if you tag the brand, they might see you. It was pretty scary at the beginning. But they asked me to design for them, and that's why you can see a lot of patterns of my own Hobby website. It was a lot of work and not that much money, but it was something for me, and I was happy to, for me the happiness was just to be able to try all that yarn, because I don't think I ever could afford working with cashmere or with silk or other luxurious fibers. Even now I don't feel comfortable to spend so much money on this types of yarn, and I'm trying to use except when I'm getting something as a gift, but I'm trying to use more affordable, or at least to design something that it could be made in any type of yarn. That's why I'm trying to all the designs, trying to make them in cotton, in different fibers, so that people can see that actually it's working, and you can use almost any type of yarn. And then from that I started to be more visible with the brands. And what I'm keep saying that is because this helped me a lot, and push my limits, made me learn something. Because when I was working with Katia, with Simply Crochet magazine, they were giving me the sample on how they want to look the pattern, what information they need in the pattern. So this makes me understand, oh, this is important, this is also important, making a sketch, making a chart, making something. And because of that I had to keep learning about charts, about everything, to pay attention to everything, and I learned a lot. So this is how basically I learned things, because yeah, I needed to, but at least I found out what is needed, what are their expectations, seeing a pattern after writing it, but then with the proof of the editor of the brand or whatever, because I was getting the pattern back to see if there are changes, so I could see what a pattern should look like. And yeah, so I think I always kept learning about this, but always keeping doing things that I love. So I don't mind if I have a really easy design, or if I have a really challenging design, if the mood itself in that moment is that I want to make that, I will do everything to make that. So I'm not thinking if the people will like it, if the people will buy it, if the people will whatever. I'm just doing it because I love it, because I would like to wear it, because I would like to have that, because I would like to make that. If it's a challenging project, I want to learn more about the construction, about things. So that being said, I accepting challenges, but also doing simple stuff in the meantime, because I needed that for my brain to just rest and just to do something that I don't need to pay too much attention at. Yeah, it kept this thing still vibrant in me, and I still want to do it, and I still have passion, pleasure, ideas. It's like never ending. But yeah, so this is how I got here. One more thing, it was that this everything helped me so much with my self-esteem, with my self-confidence, with everything, because that is why I just started this year or last year in September to do this weekly journals, because I never was so confident that I could do that in front of the camera, because basically when I'm talking in front of the camera, I already feel like I'm talking with you. So maybe I wasn't a good public speaking, or I wasn't feeling comfortable doing that, especially because I needed to talk in English, which is not my main language or mother language, and I know that I'm having a weird accent. I'm doing mistakes because yeah, it's not the language that I'm using every single day. But yeah, so that was it about me, I hope. But if you have any more question, I think I talk more than 15 minutes about it, so it's enough. And if you have more questions about this topic, you can send it. I will be happy to talk with you. Now, the second thing that I got is a question from Suzanne. I was showing you into the previous weekly journal this sweater that is worked with 4 different colors, changing the color at every single row. And Suzanne was how often do you change the colors at every row randomly? How do you carry the yarn up to the sides securely? I watched both the sunset and sunshine tutorials. Thank you in advance of your answer. So I will just say a bit about it, and then I thought that it's better to show you how I'm working on this. So I use 4 colors because I noticed that is the perfect amount of colors to carry on the side edge, because in this way the floats won't be that big. And when I first started, I just started with 1 color doing the first row, picking up the second color doing the second row, picking up the third color doing the third row, and picking up the 4th color and doing the fourth row. And after having all the colors into the piece that I was knitting, I will simply carry on the furthest yarn on the sides and start knitting with that. But I will show it to you right now in a short video, and then we will talk more about it. Okay, so for this sweater I'm using 4 colors. I noticed that if you want to change it at every single row, it's better to have not more than 4 colors, because then when carry on the yarn on the side, you won't have such a big float. So this is how I'm carrying on the yarn. So basically I'm changing the yarn at every single row. And when I first started, I just took one color, work on one round. Then on the other round, on the wrong side, I picked up another color. Then again the third color and the fourth. And then after finishing one row with each color, I simply picked up the further yarn. So like here, you will end up with 3 strands on one side and only one on the other. This is how, at least on how I'm doing it. So now if I want to start another round, another row, I will pick up the farthest color and I will start working on it, with it. And then work up to the end of the row. I think I had to make a decrease here, which I forgot about. So putting this back. I'm making the decrease after 2 stitches, so with the third and the fourth. I'm working in the back loop because of my way of purling. That's why it's looking weird, because as you can see my stitches are twisted, but this is regular knit stitch. So let me finish this row and then I will show you how I'm doing it on the wrong side. Okay, so now after finishing this row, I'm trying to put the skeins or the cakes in some places to avoid tangle them, but you know that this will happen. And now I finished with this one, so now I'm picking up the other one. I don't know about you, but I'm knitting the first stitch. You can do any edge as you want, and then I'm purling the entire row using the other color. And it feels more natural to put this into the right side, so I will be sure that. And yeah, this is how I'm changing color on this sweater. So yeah, this is how I'm doing it in crochet. I think because the rows are higher than in knitting, it can be done, but the floats on the edge will be a bit bigger. So I will recommend that if you're having an edge that I don't know, it will end up in a seam, so you will stitch together the sides, because in this way you will even secure more those floats that are over there. I did the same thing with the version of the fern top. Maybe I will put it here. It also worked with 4 colors at the beginning because it was I did it with leftover yarn, as at some points I was getting off with some colors, so I ended up with finishing with 2 from 4. But anyways, the back is working 4 colors, and I did the same thing, changing at every row and every time picking up the further yarn that is on the side. So yeah, I hope this helped a bit. I will want to try the same thing because I have some fingering weight yarn that I used, the same yarn that I used for the Shining Pearl jumper, the same brand, but I have a few different colors. And I want to try with the sunset sweater to do the same thing. And maybe because yesterday I was showing you a short video on my Instagram account, and I think it was here on YouTube as well, with the single crochet in the front loop only. I'm thinking to just change the half double crochet of the sunset sweater and try to work the single crochet. This will give me shorter rows, and because you're getting from the calf and increasing on the sleeve. If I'm working with shorter rows, then I will have more stitches, and not looking weird that I have more stitches, and I might get with a bigger length. It's true that the stitches are shorter, so the rows will be shorter, so I'm curious to see how it will look. But anyways, this will be sometimes, I don't know when. Okay, so now that we are done with the questions, I think let's start the weekly journal, the part where I'm showing you what I was working on this week. So first I'm wearing the Demerzael Sweater, which now is just a t-shirt. I finished the length, worked the ribbing, but from the last time that you saw it, I changed basically everything. So because of this yoke type, sometimes it's not bothering me that much that it's twisting when working only on the right side, but here it was pretty visible, and I think because here we are not on this section, I'm not increasing on the body, so only on the sleeves, so somehow it was really visible. I thought at first that it won't bother me, but when I got to splitting into sleeves and body, realized that the stitches for the sleeves were so off, so I couldn't reach the stitch marker with the stitch marker without having the sweater super twist. This is the second sample that I'm doing it. The first one, which I was wearing last week, is worked only on the right side, so basically it's not bothering me that much, but because I'm going to I know that some of you will think about it, and it's not that it won't be wearable or something, but you know, if you see that I'm thinking from the beginner perspective, or someone who wants to try for the first time making a sweater, and thinking that you will see that twist, and maybe you will think that you did something wrong, and you'll be frustrated, and you will give up maybe because you don't like it this way, like twisted, and maybe you don't have the because many of you are putting questions. Okay, it's twisting, why am I doing it wrong? I just count the stitches, everything is fine, like in the pattern, what is happening? And then I can give you the reason why this is happening, but not all of you are putting those questions, and just give up and never go back to that project again, or maybe I don't know. So that's why I wanted to be as perfect as possible and as rewarding as possible as you are working on it, because I know when working or something, when you don't want to put it down just because you cannot wait to finish it. That is the feeling that I want. If I want to, I just need to put it back to just start working on something else, because I'm like, okay, this is not a good thing, because it's important to keep you there and to I don't know, you know the feeling. So I was almost over the starting working on the body, and I just rip it off and starting all over working on the, yeah, I thought that someone is, but it's just the wind. So I was working on the right side and then turning, working on the wrong side. This will change the entire pattern because you know that I already have the pattern, but this will change it entirely because the second row won't be the same, the third row yeah, but every wrong side row it won't be the same as is written right now. But this will change the stitch charts that I did in the first version of the pattern, so there will be a lot of work still in this, but I'm really happy with the shape, with the fit, with everything. It feels, I think this is my favorite kind of raglan or top-down sweater, and I love it because you can control everything. The sleeve width, you can simply make more increases if you see that you want more stitches. You can simply while you're increasing on the sleeve, you can still increase in the body if you still need a few more stitches. So I love that you can play with it and you can get easily where you want. So I hope this week I will finish because I want to wear the sleeves as well, and then to finish everything with the pattern, and maybe beginning of April it will be here. Now the second thing that I managed to finish, I finished all the dress, the black dress, but I still need to weave in a lot of ends. So yeah, I'm still at that chapter. I don't know, I did a few, then let it aside. It's difficult that it's black and I need to do it mostly during the day because otherwise I cannot see the ends. But yeah, I can't wait to finish it this weekend maybe, and then to lock it and start working on that pattern as well. Another thing, I just started something new this week, and this one project from the collection, and I'm feeling it's super weird because I'm not sharing anywhere else everything, not everything, but here I want to be more open with you and more transparent with what I'm working, because this is the idea of the weekly journal. And I know it's looking weird, but let me put it this way so you can understand a bit better what I'm trying to do here. Okay, so this will be a pair of rope pants. I had a pattern back in 2018, the tie pants, but definitely they weren't what they should be because I didn't shape the crotch, I didn't do any increases, decreases, so it was just a loop like this. Now I'm working with short rows on the back with everything, so to be as wearable and comfortable as possible. I'm trying to make them as for summer, so that's why I'm trying a mesh stitch for the length, and I'm pretty excited about it. I'm using Scrapier Bamboo Soft for this one, and I'm pretty happy. So this will be one side like this, and then the other side, and we will stitch here. And here we will have a long cord, and to be able to rub them on around our body. And maybe this will let it split as it let it split. I cannot find the word. So yeah, I was thinking this design for a long time, and I'm happy that I finally got all the measurements, and it's working pretty well. And yeah, I'm pretty excited with them. Okay, and of course, Lindsay Bag. The where is the 2 millimeter macrame cord came. I don't know. I ordered yellow. Maybe I was influenced by the small sketch that I made in yellow paper. I don't know, but it came. I'm not pretty excited about this. Maybe it's not the best cord, I don't know, but it's really splitting. And because I'm trying to work with a 4 millimeter crochet hook to have that dense stitches and fabric that is proper for a bag, I found it really difficult. And I noticed that it's important the hook of the crochet hook. It's important how you're grabbing the yarn, and it's important the brand and everything. But yeah, so the thing is that I spent yesterday the almost half a day trying to figure out how this pattern, because it's not that easy that it was looking at the beginning. And why? Because usually in single crochet or single crochet variation, I have the same stitch count as the number of rows. So usually I had like 16, 17 up to 18, depending how tight I'm working about my tension. But it was like 16 on 16, 17 on 17, so 17 stitches in 17 rows, which will be perfect to get, because because I need to have stitches but then put aside rows, it will be helpful to have it the same. But apparently with this macrame yarn I'm not getting there. I have 12 stitches with 14 rows, and this is kind of giving me headache. So first I started with a small stitch, and I tried to have the triangle, but trying to get to the Lindsay measurement, she said that the width of the bag to be somewhere into 26-30 centimeters and the height at 25. So I was trying to stick with those measurements, but this is what I get to have 25 centimeters, and here I don't know exactly. And I don't like the shape of this triangle, plus I don't like the edges with this moss or linen stitch. So I tried to make like a triangle in single crochet into the back loop, and I wanted today to start working on it and actually start making this triangle. But the thing is that I have 27, I think, in the width, but I didn't get into the length to have 25. So this means that I think I have 21 or 22, but I have an idea on how to work everything. But I didn't want it to start working on the bag until I would know that this is working. So maybe if I will have enough time this week to start working the second triangle and then the sides to see how everything is matching, because now I have a problem here. I will have to manage to have the same number of rows on the side as the stitches here, so I could connect them and to look nice. So this is my issue right now. Not issue, but I don't know yet if it's working. So if this week I will next week I will be able to finish this, we will start working on a tutorial maybe. In the meantime, if it's not working and if I will have another idea, I will show it to you. But now I'm so stuck with this design and I want to make it work, because when I'm thinking to something, I want to know and have no regrets. I'm not putting it away until I know that I tried everything and it's true that it's not working. Otherwise, they will be in the back of my head and I don't like it. So I want to make it work. I don't know how for now. I need to still try working the sides and the other triangle and see. But I want to make it work. Anyways. So maybe we will start next week working on it. because I want to finish it. Also, Lindsay asked about linen. I think we can do that. I was saying at the beginning of the video that I don't have a sewing machine. I don't know how to sew, but I did some lining in the bags and even on a jacket by hand. But of course that it will be much easier if you can sew in with your machine the lining. And also to use hardware for handles, I will be honest with you, I just ordered some I think they are faux leather handles. I don't know, they are from, you can find them on Hobbywid's website. I found them somewhere else, but they are the same brand from Go Handmade, and I think they are really handy. But anyways, I will think about something for the handles. I don't know what hardware are you looking. Some day in the past I was thinking of putting some wire inside and crochet over it or let it inside, but somehow I don't know what to do with the ends. Maybe to let it shorter inside the crochet piece. I don't know. If you have more ideas, Lindsay, about what type of hardware, my only thing right now is maybe to recycle some I don't know, for example, what came into my head, like jeans, and just braid and then put it to crochet over, because the jeans will be strong enough and not stretching. Maybe, I don't know, or some rope to put inside, because with the rope, but I hope that you can sew the ends and it will keep it inside. But anyways, give me more details about what type of hardware did you sew, because lately, I will be really honest with you, I didn't watch too many bags things so I wasn't looking to these types of projects. So I'm trying to, if you have something and it will be, think that it will be helpful, please send them in. Okay, so this was it for this week. I hope that I will get to some results with the bag and we can start it next week. In the meantime, I don't know, I will keep working. I do want to finish everything from this collection. I do want to publish this entire collection at once, but I don't know, I have there are so many ideas that I want to do and make, and things that I don't know, but we will let the time decide and what this year reserves me regarding my work. So anyways, thank you for being here with me again for another weekly journal. I was so happy to be here with you, and have a great weekend. See you next week. Bye.